open this meeting of the Bisbee Arts Commission on Monday, July 11th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. First thing to roll call.
Okay, Jenny Druckman.
Present.
Bill Higgins.
Present.
Karen Schumacher.
Present.
Sharon Stetter.
Here.
Amy Brett.
Here.
Angela Rockefeller.
Here.
Okay.
No call to the public. Then we'll move to item 1, approval of the minutes of the June 20th, 2022 meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes of the June 20th, 2022 meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Then we move on to Sharon's. Sharon amended it and put this on here, which is important. Discussion regarding the For Art's Sake catalog and PR person, dog, cat, mouse media. You want to give a brief update on this wonderful situation?
Yes, well, for those that don't know, I went and spoke with Sloan about who he uses to publish these catalogs that he does for his events that are just beautiful. And as the conversation went on, by the time it was over, he just wants the back page, sponsored by Artemisia Foundation, and he'll produce a catalog.
500 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, as we decide how many we want. So my guess is we need a minimum, well, I don't know if we have to, I spoke to Bridget, we don't have to go up in 250 number increments. I know that immediately we need 250 of them.
Okay.
Because, yeah, Bridget's going to do it. 100 people will receive them who come to our event, with our ticketed event, and then 150 if we have that many artists. Right now, by the way, for the catalog, or for the event, for the Art's Sake, I think there are about 134 names on the list, and about 70% of them have responded. But I'm going to get everybody to respond as soon as I tell them, everyone gets a full page.
Oh.
So, I know, and it's beautiful, and
So will they be taking the pictures too?
we need to hire someone to take the
Because
photos.
I talked to Daniela.
What did she say?
She said she's interested. She just
She
needs
is?
to know more details.
Then on the next,
She was hoping that if she took pictures for the catalog, that we might also have her take pictures for the ticketed event, the VIP event.
I mean, like people pictures instead of stills of.
Yeah.
any idea of the price that she was, or the?
No, she's like, wanted us to come up with that, but I can talk to her further.
Yeah, and we should put that on the next agenda to vote on that.
Yeah.
So that we can go ahead and know that we have somebody. As a reminder, this is the only meeting that we have this month because it lands in the middle of the month.
Okay.
Because we thought Jenny was gone. No, I'm just kidding. That wasn't all.
It's a lot going
Well,
on.
at one point I was going to be gone.
You were going to be gone too. But going
And
back
I'm
to
on next week.
catalog and PR person, the other part
Okay.
of this discussion, right, was the.
Yeah, so let's first decide catalog. Is this a size that we want, or do you guys imagine another size? I mean, we can discuss that.
How many pages is that one?
They don't number their pages.
Are you talking size?
Yeah, this is
The
this.
dimension.
Yeah, this dimension.
I like it.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's a lovely dimension.
So, and they're very happy to be producing it because, of course, it's kind of a time capsule piece for this, for all of the artists of Bisbee at this time. So that's great. Okay, so we're going to have potentially a preface, a foreword from Peter Young, who is actually now talking about putting his work in the show.
You talking about what?
Putting his work in the show.
He wasn't Saturday.
Oh, Saturday is still not good. He said he was. I need to go and talk to him. It said he's.
It will be up for
swaying.
debate until the final moment.
It'll be anyway. So I need to go speak with him again. So yes, Bridget Shanahan works for Sloan, and that's who he would use to do this. Her quote, if you looked at it, was like $3,500 for her portion, and then on top of that is the printing portion, and all of that is underwritten by Sloan. So,
Oh, wow.
So Ashley, in a situation like this, because it's something that we're being given, do we have to vote on any of this?
You probably should, just to make sure that everybody agrees with it.
So on the next one, should we just put a vote? Just to, and if there's any, if there's any dissension, if anybody disagrees with that, obviously that would be the time. And I mean, we did ask Peter Young if he'd be interested, and then he proceeded to write an entire history of Bisbee, which is kind of incredible.
yeah, it is from an artist's perspective. Yeah.
But I just want to make it clear to all commissioners that I know that it might feel sometimes like we're just making a lot of decisions, and those,
Yeah.
all those decisions can be on an agenda. We can always discuss them.
That's why we ran it on the agenda quickly, because if anybody has anything to say about that.
Is he writing the preface or is he not?
Well, he did write, he sent me and I sent it to you, a draft of what he, and yeah, he starts with Ted DeGrazia.
So is it a good, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
It's actually pretty good.
I
Um,
can have it. I mean, he's basically
Yeah,
done it.
I've
It's a
he's got a
draft.
few more things,
we
he's
can
got a
send
few more
it,
things
we'll
to
send it to
do.
you too.
Okay.
We can also have other people write something. There was a discussion about having a photo of all the commissioners.
I'm okay
Continue.
being anonymous.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Somehow.
only because of all of us that
I know.
you should take your glory with
We'll
all
take
the
our
work.
nobility when we.
Well, I was actually
Sorry.
wanting headshots from everybody to do like commissioner highlights on the
Oh, fun.
Instagram.
I'll meet you all at the Glamour Shots place on Saturday.
What was the photographer's name?
Daniela Dawson.
Thank you.
So, yeah, talk to her and see. She's welcome. She
Okay.
can also, if she wants to discuss detail.
Well, and she wasn't saying that like, I wanna do the VIP, she was just saying, if I do the catalog and you decide to have pictures taken at VIP, it'd be nice if you considered me to do that.
Fair enough.
So, you know, that makes sense to me. It sounds like she's fine if all we want her to do is just the catalog.
Yeah,
I don't have any clue what like going rates are, so I don't know where to start with her. So should I mean, I trust Danielle,
Well,
to be
here's-
honest with me,
I would
so.
want to, yeah, and we know, ask her first before we
Okay.
throw out any numbers.
Here's some of the detail that you need. All of the art will be in one location. You should be photographing at that location. Lighting, hopefully we can rig up the right lighting
Okay.
for this to happen.
She has
and
lights in it too.
Yeah,
And, which brings up this deadline, which is the other important aspect of this, which will have to change on our website. Because of this catalog now being something much grander than Karen and I ever dreamt about doing.
so the timeline of.
The timeline now, I need all of the work by the first week of September. And
Okay,
it all has to be photographed by the end of that week.
So is
And then
that
she
a,
has-
and when is it gonna be available for her to start? Like,
As soon as I have all the
we got
photographs,
about two
She has a-
week in
she has-
window in the end of August, is that what we're talking about? For her to come in and take all of.
no, as soon as we have all of the art, she can just schedule us, it doesn't matter if it's a weekend or not.
Okay,
I can,
We'll set up a space.
we'll set up
Okay.
a space and
Okay.
Deb Maroney will open, or let me.
well,
have
and
the
that's what
key
she
to
was actually hoping, because she does have some travel in late September, early October, and so she's
This is actually
gonna be in
early
August.
September.
Early
Late
September,
August,
okay.
early September.
All right,
So that we can get everything we need. The only other thing that was suggested by Bridget, as I flip through this catalog, you might notice, there's not a lot of writing. And there's a reason for it. She said, you know, the best art catalogs and art books and tabletop things, there's not a lot of writing. And so instead of me trying to edit 150 artists' bios, you know, imagine that, what it would come in. I mean, you'd have their details, you'd have their life histories, you'd be trying, like, everybody's would be different. So instead, the idea was one sentence statement from every artist, and that we could come up with prompts, what that sentence, what that could be. Like, maybe the prompt is, you know, could be something, Peter Young said, Bisbee, question mark. That could be just, that could be it, Bisbee, question mark, and they could respond to that. Or we could, you know, what is your muse? Is there a motto that you live by? You know, those kind
I
of
was gonna
questions
say,
that
they
could.
have like surveys where you can send them out and digitally collect the information.
But we just want one sentence from every
Oh,
artist.
just one sentence.
One sentence from every
And of
artist.
course it'll
A
include.
response, and they'll go with their art. So their page will be their work with, you know, the,
Dimension.
yeah,
Mhm.
title of the piece, you know.
Anything you have on the card.
But, yeah, any kind of media information you would put on there, and then a comment from them, a statement from them, with their art being the most important thing, and that art being what's in the show that we're having, it's that piece.
I have a question. Go ahead, please.
what is the deadline for artists to submit? Would you
August
remind me?
19th.
So then when you get those on your computer,
I'm getting them now, yeah.
Will those pieces of artwork, you're gonna decide which of three?
For the most part. A lot of people are sending me 3 by creating a piece specifically for the, and that's a permissible thing to do.
Okay.
Some people are creating and it won't be done, until it's being photographed. We have 2 installation pieces, one by Ashtafi and one by Laura McKenna. And will literally be, photographed at completion. So
but they're site specific.
I know they are, it's gonna be hard, we talked about it, but we'll
So
figure it out.
once those deadlines have been met, so that by that deadline, then I guess what I'm wondering is,
I'm gonna
by the
ask
time
them
the
to-
photography is coming, are you gonna have the pieces for that whole time? Once you do
Yeah.
photography all the way through?
Yeah.
And they know that,
Yeah.
and they,
Deb's agreed to keep them at her space.
how did I
Deb
miss that?
Maroney.
That's really
Isn't
good.
that amazing?
Yeah.
Well, all of this had to come about fairly quickly because Dave Rose got his studio space finished in time to hang the exhibition that he's hanging like 2 months earlier than he was supposed to. That show that's hanging now was supposed to be the thing that came in just before us.
Uh-huh.
The good news is it came in early and he had to get all the work done.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we have this,
Correct.
space that now we can see. And we have a lot of lineal feet of wall. I'm not too, it's beautiful, it's big, it's gonna be fantastic for the exhibition.
I
So
have a question.
we do have to hold all the art though.
Okay.
Why is, on this contract, we're listed as the client with the amounts of money?
Oh, I talked to her about that. I said, this is underwritten by Sloan, and should I send it to Sloan? I just needed to talk to you guys
Okay.
first.
I
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure.
yeah. Yeah, it's not, we are not the paying client. We are the client, but we're not the,
Well, that's an incredible.
so that's the thing I have to talk to Sloan about, he's the paying client.
But it's an incredibly generous gift.
Huge, yeah, by the time we get everything printed, it's gonna be roughly $6,000, my guess, close to.
What about the gravel?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Can we tack gravel on?
Let's not have Sharon have a heart attack before the episode.
I haven't heard back from Robert about that.
Anyway,
He's probably
so-
like, he's
No,
probably
he-
like, this, he's
I
like,
know.
they're out of control.
I know. I kind of said that in the email, I'm like, I don't want you to think we're gonna keep on asking outrageous things, but,
But here's one more, just one
yeah, just one
more.
more thing.
Yes, if you look, she's got September 30th as the date she needs to go to print. And that gives us only 3 weeks for the printing to happen.
Yeah, and the photography to be developed, all that.
So what I put down
Yeah.
was tell Daniela that there's a 2-week window when we'd like to have all the photographs taken, the last week in August, the
Yeah.
first week in September.
And it's gonna be
It's
somewhere
actually-
between 75 and 130 pieces of art.
Yeah, okay,
From one angle.
all right,
Yeah, just one shot.
And with,
Something.
hopefully with a light setup.
yeah.
If she needs, I have a light set up, but I think she
She's
has it
got
all.
everything
Yeah.
she needs.
Yeah.
Let's touch on this other thing too, is that we had
Yeah.
Sharon ask about having a PR person. Bridget was the PR person for the city of Bisbee at one point, for Discover Bisbee. Have been talking about the last few months, having somebody who would reach out and do the things that we don't necessarily know how to do. Did she give you a quote about what that would be?
She wanted us to be, to kind of be more specific about what it is, what's the scope of the work. Are we asking her to mail out press releases, in the state of Arizona? Are we asking her to, what are we asking her to do?
That's what I was thinking was getting, she knows all, the thing is that she
Has all the
She
county.
knows all those people.
Right.
She knows everything in the
Yeah,
state
she
to how to contact them.
So press releases, what else would we want her to do?
Reaching out to Arizona NPR,
Okay.
and then, those were the majority of the things. It was just that I don't know the people.
Yeah, none of us really have the connections that would make it happen quick.
Yeah.
So-
Those are the two I was concerned with.
So, and we would want this activity for the month of September and,
Preferably for September and going up to the event. Just really doing a big push, because that's gonna be about the time that none of us are gonna feel like we have the time.
we're gonna be out of time. We're all gonna be going, ah!
Yeah.
Okay. So So there,
So you wanna ask her and bring it back to the agenda, and then we'll put it on the agenda for next time.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry to be moving along so fast. It's only
I-
because your time is fleeting.
No, I'm good.
Did I?
What?
I just didn't know this about Deb Maroney being willing. Did this just happen?
Yeah, Sharon's just like incredibly
She
successful.
wanted
already
to kind
tell
of be
the
there, and she
commission
was,
this?
no.
Did I just miss this?
No, it's like you missed a whole meeting, no, that
feel like I did.
No, you did not.
No, it's just.
When Dave had his event last week, I went to that event,
Yes.
and mainly to see his face, and then, just to discover that there are things we need that I thought we would have that are gone. And then as that time went on, I finally walked out of there and walked up to go over to my car, and I saw Deb was in there. So I went in and said, hey Deb, by the way, we need a place, because he's gonna leave that exhibition up until our exhibition is going
Oh,
up.
it's a problem.
So I was thinking I might be able to slip all of the art into the space early.
Oh, wow.
I know, but that would be asking a bit much at this point, because we've already given him his rent and his agreement has already been signed.
Right.
And I just thought I might, fingle it, but probably not. So I went to
Sharon
Deb's.
finagling.
Deb will just let
She
us
has,
store
yeah,
all
she's
that
gonna let
art.
us store it all. She's got an area, she's got all those looms in the front.
Yeah.
And then she's got an area in the back where she does a lot of work. But in the middle, there's a gallery space. That gallery space is probably where we'll do all of the photography. We can get enough space on
And
it.
the windows are still there and that's.
Well, and she's gonna use her own lighting, I'm sure. So, yeah. It just happened to be a good moment to ask her.
Yeah.
I did, and she said, okay. Because she's been wanting to know how she could be participants, and there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a huge help.
It's a huge help, because we were imagining everything going to Central School, and then renting a truck, and moving everything over to the, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
So these
So
is
just
gonna
gonna
be,
be
this
like-
way it's already
just
on
across
the
the
street. Yeah, I would love it if it could just go right into Dave's studio. I know, as things get closer, let's see what happens, but right now, that's where we're at.
Okay.
Well, with the agreement, we'll move to item 3. Discussion and possible action regarding the following items for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts event. Discussion, deadlines for event. I'm happy to report the right-of-way permit is over. We have been accepted by the city, thanks to Ashley and Nina, I believe, amending it. Somebody wrote on there to waive all fees. Oh, yeah, sorry. We went to city council last week and they waived all fees.
No, it's-
We are allowed to shut down the street.
Yay.
I don't know why that was weighing so heavily on me. With that said, I will say, unless it's somewhere else, oh no, it's coming up. We'll talk about the other quandaries that I have. That was the most important one. Liquor licenses I just finished, so we're on. I just wanted to do the right-of-way permit before the liquor licenses. So I don't know. I feel good about those 2 bureaucratic deadlines. What other deadlines? I always request if you can think of anything that we have not thought of that should desperately be a deadline. Oh, I did tell the art vendors who were accepted. I did offer a Q&A about how to get event insurance. It continues to be an issue for some people. I'm still confused why we can't buy insurance for everyone or something, because they just won't be dead all the time. But
I know.
some of them don't. I called Sharon. We had somebody who was a long-term vendor, had been doing it all over the country. I sent an email out. 20 minutes later, she sent me her insurance. And I was like,
Yeah,
and there's a few people like that. But I am trying my best to make it as easy as possible. So I will be offering a Q&A to the people who respond in the next couple weeks, where I actually literally go on to Progressive and show them what to click.
make sure to let me know when you're gonna do all that, and I can make sure that I post about it.
Yeah.
I've had, the people I've talked to, that have had questions about the vendor situation, I didn't wanna be rude, but I was like, did you read everything? Because like,
I sent
there
out
were
a- I
so
sent
many
out a
things
very
that seemed to
specific-
just go past them in regards to,
And I put the table and the tent in bold this time.
yeah.
And so it's very, some of
3
the-
people in a row didn't know that the table and tent were supplied, and I'm like,
This is the 3rd time I've told them. I don't really, somebody told me that doing vending is a painful job. I will get back to you on how painful. But you know, for the most part, the responses have been really good.
Good.
So I will be, probably the people I haven't heard back from, they're supposed to send us the $75 fee by August. They're sending it to my PO box, but it's made out to the city of Bisbee. So August 1st, I'll have a real count. I have also had a few people request a waiver, which I just give them, you know, because that's the way it has to be. We'll have a Q&A in the next couple weeks for those people. So, yeah, it's just hard when you feel like I feel redundant.
Yeah, that's what I guess
And I feel like a fairly articulate writer most of the time, so I'm a little confounded about, and I also wrote in bold, please read carefully. So many times where I'm like, this is just annoying, but.
Yeah, that's the thing that surprised me about all of the festival stuff, is I'm like, I feel like as a group, we're a pretty, like, concise, intelligent bunch. Like, so I'm not sure where the confusion is coming across, but.
It is a stereotype, and maybe it is true for all people, but I will say that dealing with artists in my experience has been a little bit like herding cats, where it's just, and that's because we have a lot of divergent thinkers, I think.
I didn't know if maybe they're, like, just the whole confusion about the event, the festival, the 2-day festival opening the exhibit. Like, why is that so confusing?
It seems like it has been clarified
Okay,
somewhat.
all right.
And what we haven't been doing, you know, I've got a website and advertising for this just so I'll be under the right thing. I have been doing, what's the word I'm looking for? Aimed marketing out of state. I'm not out of state, out of Bisbee.
town.
Because I know how Bisbee gets sick of hearing about things, but we're gonna start revving that up, and they're gonna get sick of it. So there will be time to clarify.
Okay.
That, you know, pay for Facebook ads is still incredible. Traffic on the website's pretty good, so I feel good about it. But I didn't want to hammer Bisbee with it for an entire year, you
Yeah,
know?
of course.
So, but it's coming.
Okay.
And then hopefully that will clarify a lot of
Yeah.
things. Because Bisbee just has to drive somewhere. You know, I was really concerned with those people who had to make plans to come. And please take a look at the Facebook page for the Bisbee Arts Commission to see that ad and what else is up there. So,
That's what I've been stealing my content from.
perfect. And if you ever want me to send you anything,
Okay.
I have some other images now, because the graphic designer just did a table tent.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Cliche, which I'll send to you guys, I just got it today. Which brings me to sign and banners for event, and printing needs for event. I would like to go ahead and buy table tents really soon, and get them on the tables of Bisbee. But after that, in about a month, we need a pretty big order of banners. Sharon wants banners.
Don't we all want banners?
I know Sharon
Don't
wants
blame me.
Is that something we have to vote on?
Yeah, we can vote on exactly what you guys think, what we need, printing needs next time.
Can we review a budget next time?
Yeah, and I'll have
That way we know.
because the budget hasn't changed a whole lot, because
Uh-huh.
it's about two,
Added
it's about two tonight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So other than the Facebook ads and a couple other things, it hasn't really changed, but it will change after this month, because we're about to spend.
Right, because I would like to know about that before.
What I looked at, when I was
Banners
looking
probably
at
aren't very
the
expensive.
banners that we were talking about, just to give it an
Like the
example.
signpost one?
The ones that go on the, like, lamp posts, those what I saw were like $85 a piece.
And we need a few things for directions, for the bus, you know, so we need to have a concise list of that. And I was gonna request that if one of our commissioners felt up to it, to contact the city and see how it would go. I mean, I know Ashley's right here, so it feels kind of silly to say this, but it may not be her department, it would be Public Works, to see when they would need them to get them up, and how do we get approval for putting them up, and that whole logistical dream. I didn't say nightmare, I said dream.
The other banners that we would want to do, we would like to be able to put a banner up on the up at the table, the corner building, you know, the convention center building, whatever we call that
Oh,
building.
yeah.
It's the convention center.
Does anybody feel like calling the city, Public Works, and
and asking?
Would you like to talk to Public Works?
I will.
They're very pleasant.
What do you want me to talk about then, exactly?
Have to be more specific.
What size, so you need to call Public Works and see what size banners it would take to put on the appropriate size banners for the poll.
They have some for Christmas, I think, or for something, so they should know
Like
already.
Yeah. We need that information, and we need to know what we have to do to get them, to ask them to put them up.
Okay. Call
It-
Logan or Matt.
So Logan or Matt. The other thing is that it would be nice to get permission from the Pages or whoever controls the majority of the building, Convention Center, to put up a big thing there.
I will contact them. They've been not very communicative lately. George is in the hospital with cancer.
Oh, God.
Tamara is not well. and-
Logan?
Do you want me to do that?
Which one
I
do
can
you?
do this.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything now for like a month.
On a regular basis.
I got a super fun job for somebody else.
I've been very
Just
busy,
lately.
but-
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
usually
Well, the
see
other
them.
one is
Yeah, I
not,
see.
they're both
Yeah.
really
Do
cool.
you want to ask them if
Sure.
they can put the
Um,
banner
Yeah.
on the front of the building?
Sure, I'll
Like we
talk
have
to
for the brass.
Those
Yeah.
are the two things,
But
like
I
I
can
said,
always still do something.
well, no, I have
Getting
another,
her
I got
response.
more.
Sometimes
She's
it's
got
hard,
more.
but I have no problem
All right.
pestering it.
So, I mean, you have your choice. So, next agenda, we would need to vote on what we're gonna order.
And we should we should try to have at least a conceptual what that price of that big banner, that one that would go
On the building.
on the building.
Yeah, you know, if somebody wants to research a few different places where we can get that, I mean, in my experience, Vista Print is the cheapest, but
Where do they get the ones that they put up there?
that's what we need to
Well,
know.
Poe painted the one for the brats, so it was just a handmade one.
I'm talking about the ones for the polls, or,
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were talking about that
The
big.
big-
either one. I mean, you can print something as big as a house from Vista Print, I think, if you want to. But we need to find out from the convention center what size would be appropriate on there too.
But that's, yeah, the size of that building, that space in the building. And they've used it, so they know, for the mariachi festival and other stuff.
We're also, next time, they have, the graphic designer has created a map for this event. It still doesn't include the map for the vending, or for the lull, because things
We
were,
could,
Yeah, what map is it then?
well, the map of all the galleries.
Oh.
yeah, but on Lowell, in Lowell, what would it?
Well, I mean, we didn't want to put the individual vendors, because that's always subject to change, and there's like a
Right.
deadline issue, but like, essentially the layout, like, here's
the
food,
festival.
there's that, you know?
Right.
And the bus schedule, which is, I'm delighted to talk about in a minute.
I should have a general map.
Yeah, it's just a general map. So I drew a map for the city of Bisbee, which is not appropriate because it just said giant hole this way. But it's kind of the layout. I'll bring it to you next time so you guys can approve and tell me where we need to move things. Because some of it was guessing. And some of it was like, you know, with your things, it was, I don't know if it was necessarily proportionate.
Yeah,
And, this is hard drawing maps, actually.
yeah, it's hard guesstimating on footprints of things too.
And the size of this mat is an 8.5 by 11,
Sheet of paper.
opened up like that.
Yeah, and it's up to you guys where we put what.
So if this were the size of the map of, you know, where the galleries are and the, you know, arrow that says go that way to get to Carol Chandler's or whatever, I would hope that maybe that this requires somebody running to go around town. I think it would be fun to identify the public artwork in Bisbee within the confines of that map.
My
If we
only
could.
issue is I don't know how you would
Yeah.
fit that on the map too. It's
Yeah.
already a little,
If we're trying to fit a lot of
Is
info.
it too much info?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it would be cool to have.
There aren't that many galleries, I mean, I think I delivered 15 total.
but you'd be surprised on the map that is a working map. One of the
Yeah.
reasons it's a working map is we weren't completely done contacting some of the galleries, but also, the wiggle room.
Yeah,
I'm
some
still
closures.
unclear if they're gonna close or not, and so
Yeah.
anybody know?
No, I haven't heard the reason.
Would anybody like to contact her and ask her if she's going
I'll
to,
call
if
back.
she's still planning on having a show?
The last time I talked to her, she was still hoping that they were gonna get to stay.
And I think it was just up in the air. So, because we can't finish the map until we know that, and then We were also gonna include the bus schedule on the map, which I'll get to in a moment. I know. I don't think it's on here. It was on my bus schedule made no sense. Anyway,
Can I ask a question that's not related to anything on the agenda? Or
is it
just wait
possible to hold
till?
it till item 4,
Certainly.
related to all things?
Well, it
Or is it fall
was
under?
about deadline,
Oh, yeah.
actually,
Sorry.
you could say.
Well, theoretically, we can, because this is an item 3 and everything's underneath here, I believe that there's a certain amount of wiggle room about, because they all overlap.
Just, I wanted to know about the contracts for the musicians.
I have all the information.
You do?
Now I have to give it to Nina.
Yeah.
Nina has to get the contracts made.
Okay.
I have to have a contract for you.
I saw that.
You gave me everything.
I gave you everything except we haven't discussed the musicians for the VIP thing.
And that was the last thing I was, yeah. I assume we haven't even talked about how long we want them to play.
How long is the party?
3 hours. And that falls under C2.
Are we talking about the fundraising party? Or what?
Yeah,
The
because
VIP.
Friday night.
just to catch everybody up, we have to have a contract for all the artists. I mean, not the artists, sorry, that'd be, oh my God. All the performers and musicians. And I have to have the information about what they're being paid and who the check is made out to and how many people are in it to give the city so they can have the contracts made.
And we have all that.
We have all that for everybody except for,
Do you have Gabe?
yes, I gave, and I got my family, that was an easier one.
Alright.
Except for Ben and the other.
Jill and Brian, what's his last name?
So we have a 3-hour event, and so we can kind of go to discussion fundraiser. It's a 3-hour event. How long would you like them to play?
Well, I think that there should be like a half hour of people arriving and then a half hour of people leaving, so it's a 2-hour window of performance, and with a 15-minute break. And
So an
that's-
hour for each of these performers.
Yeah,
Or, I mean, we could keep it
Or
incredibly
50
simple and say
minutes.
45 minutes
Yeah.
and keep it at the same rate.
yeah.
Yeah,
Would
there we
they
go.
be content with making $100 per person?
Yes.
Can you send me the names of the other people?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, Ben
Well,
did.
that one I got, that one I got.
Yeah. I'll do that right now.
So with the fundraiser, outside of that, we have the bartender from Roca who's willing to do the bar with their partner. They want to know what kind of drinks selection we want. They've done a nice job. They realized that the last time they did the event, the drinks were too strong, which I pointed out, because all of the air conditioners were drunk. It was great. It was like 2 drinks for the price of one. So, but he's been doing it professionally, so I thought he was a good choice, but we can vote on it too, and we do need to vote on it. If you have somebody else, the only reason I didn't want to necessarily use a volunteer is because it's kind of supposed to be a classy event, and he's a professional bartender, so he does the whole. So, what he was recommending is a white, a red, a couple beer options, a dark beer and an IPA, because that covers the gamut, and then a choice of 2 cocktails that would be batched out as punch. So, if we were to agree with that, I'd go with it and see like what do you need. I believe that they can use the license. I have to ask about how they work with alcohol, because it's complicated, but we've done it before. But unless anybody has any other ideas. The only reason I thought of that was because I know that if I give them that job, they will never bother me again. And sometimes that's the greatest luxury in life, Whether they just go off in their corner and do their thing and then that's it. So it was a little less stressful for me.
So it's Yoni doing the, I like it.
Yonatan and Meredith.
So there'll be 2 of them behind bar.
Yes.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
That's good.
Anything more to do at Roca, so I'll be more familiar with them.
Yeah. I have the name of the person. Brian Mullins, M-U-L-L-I-N-S.
M-U-L-L?
Yes, I-N-S.
And he's the other performer.
Yes.
And there's one of them or 2?
No, it's a group name, says, Sassafras squash.
There's two of them, right?
That's the two people.
Okay.
So,
When it comes to the fundraiser, there are some questions that I'd really like you guys to think about. When do we start selling tickets? We can put it online anytime. That's actually pretty easy.
That could be on the
Website.
website, yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
And then if we have to do a, a brainstorm on this album, I think September, 1 month out, 6 months out is better, I don't know. 6 months out,
No.
maybe. Yeah, it's too far out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Bisbee is like Bisbee waits till the last moment to buy tickets to anything.
Yeah, I
So
think
I'm
we
not,
do.
I'm not really feeling required to
Me
give
neither.
them a whole,
Yeah.
and that's some people in this town, maybe all towns in America. If you give them too much time, they just kind of forget.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
And then you have to, this is what I was saying with the art festival in general, it's like after a while, you're just reminding them over and over again.
I think if we make it available online for people to buy tickets, and then we'll know in September, how far out we are from our goal of 100 tickets.
100 tickets, and you're talking about
$50 a ticket.
how many artists?
We probably, my guess would be 100 artists that are gonna attend and 100. Do you guys think we can sell more than 100 tickets?
I don't know, could you put it as a line on that table tent thing?
Potentially, the problem is, there's just like so many different things, and the
There's a
space
lot
is
on
so
there,
tiny.
Yeah.
But it has the website, so I guess we could.
As long as the QR code to get people to the website is on there, people can find everything they want to
how
find.
many people can fit in that building?
A lot. It's really nice.
We could limit it.
I know, I think
If
is
we
there
sell-
a restriction?
Oh, tickets are limited.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
hasn't
wondering.
told me if there's a
If there's
You know,
a
fire
fire,
number of
received.
fire to say, I'll ask.
yeah, there should be a fire.
There
code.
should be a fire code.
But this is the question, is that if we have to probably limit it because we're supplying appetizers.
Right.
So knowing how many people is really important.
And so keeping it around 200 is probably the responsible thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It also puts a fire under some people's butts, I said butts.
If they know tickets are limited and,
Yeah.
And they're $50, there's about 100 people, 200 people.
That's a
there.
really, is that too low? Do you guys think we should raise the price of the tickets?
No,
How much?
I don't think so.
$50 a person?
I think 50's good.
I think when you get beyond that, it gets a little cost prohibitive for some people. The artists are not paying that, but
Right.
this is the question. This, if you choose, what did they say in the show? Here is something that someone can do if they would like. Start thinking about food and
Yeah.
getting clothes. Do you have any interest in that?
yeah, if you just kind of send me in the right direction, I will.
So this is, so
Food for the,
appetizers for 200 people.
And we were talking about having them be carried
And
instead of.
I've
so
contacted.
light
4
appetizers,
people, so
not
far.
heavy
What
appetizers.
about Anna? Is anyone's, or-
Honor would be a great one to talk to.
And Hannah, the girl that does those
There's
poetry.
catering board.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's-
Hannah.
Hannah, what's Hannah's
Hannah
name?
raising hell.
No,
Here, I'll look it up.
I can send you her info.
Okay, do,
Oh, great.
because I don't have the same contacts that you all.
Well, and I don't
have.
mind talking to Hannah directly. I see her 4 times.
Send me her
But I can
thing.
send you her info.
So, do you know who Honor is?
But here, let's talk about that. Do we want
No.
charcuterie boards? Do we want people, maybe just a couple places where the people can go up and take something? But I think we should have,
Server.
serve. I think
Yeah,
that's-
well, we want to do those.
Like those old timey movies.
We usually
Yeah,
do that.
we usually do
We
it.
usually do that at the past our fundraisers because often it feels otherwise like a trough.
Yeah.
And there's a little more interaction.
I've gotten one, yes, I'll do it.
Up for
And,
lawyers.
yeah, and one, probably. And no response from 2 others.
So, Amy, what I would do is I would talk to Roca and tell them what and ask them for a quote. They
Okay.
have a very good understanding of what people want in that.
Yeah.
Talking to Hannah and seeing what she would recommend in a quote. So I would like to.
We don't want her to do necessarily the whole thing though, because if she would do
Right.
it.
Just a couple of boards.
Yeah, for a couple boards. And
large,
talking-
a couple large.
Talking to Anna at,
She's not at anywhere right now, is
she
she?
was at both of Bisbee, but not anymore, I don't think so.
I thought she was doing tapas at Cornucopia.
Nope.
No,
No.
she's not doing that.
Oh, she's not?
Maybe I can
It's
talk to
just
the
there.
Corey.
I would talk,
I would ask
I would talk to Peyton at High
Don't.
Desert.
Do that? I
What
just-
did you just, would you repeat, because I want to make sure I understood what you just said.
The cornucopia people know. See, you guys all know everybody. I don't even know half the people you're talking about.
This is how you get to know her.
So Amy, I just sent you, shared you the
No,
contact.
this is the deal. You wait a few years and be like, oh my God, I wish I did not know all these people.
Yeah.
Anna, do you
Ashley
have
knows
Ashley
who-
I probably do have Anna's. I just sent you Hannah's.
I can
Okay.
send you Anna.
Yeah.
And what about Peyton at High Desert?
Ask for a quote. I want to be careful about money. I don't want to be like stingy about food, but I'm going to be careful.
But we do want to be stingy also, so
I don't want people to feel like they're gonna like eat an entire dinner.
it's not dinner, no. And so, so what is the time that
It's
we're doing
light
this?
appetizers.
Oh, yeah, perfect, yeah.
Yeah, hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, because
It's
I've
not
been
really
to
that
this very cool event every month. I used to get to go, and it was Phoenix Art Museum, and it was heavy appetizers.
We definitely want to be light.
Yeah, because that's like a meal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
No,
Jenny,
this is
I
not
have
good.
an Anna, but I'm not sure it's
Okay,
the right
right.
one, so I'll tell it to you.
Does that sound
Okay.
good?
With servers.
No, no,
Or
no.
hors d'oeuvres,
We
you
have-
could say
we have
past hors
servers.
d'oeuvres.
We have
Past
servers.
hors d'oeuvres.
We have servers around.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean they need servers, they'll
Oh.
be served,
Oh, yeah,
some
yeah.
of them.
So as you're talking to, you know, Peyton, you can say, we're gonna have these things served, so that she can know what she.
Sometimes, yeah, they have many different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Roka brings the heater for you. I think Peyton just drops it off and find out.
You know, Dave Rose has a little kitchen now off of the side there. It's kind of nice. It's got his, I mean, I was actually thinking, we'd just go to Costco and get see me standing in the kitchen.
No.
Remember that you will be engaged otherwise, and there's only one of
How
you.
many places can you be? Sure.
I want to hide in the kitchen mostly. but
Okay,
that's-
do we have a budget for this?
Yeah, this one.
Well, I want to see what they, you know, all of those businesses are fairly decent. Sometimes they also, if you say it's the Arts Commission or a nonprofit, they're actually,
For our festival of the
they
arts.
will give you a deal. That's why it's always good to ask, because it changes all the time.
Okay.
We can supply some sort of plate ourselves, you know, but
Or
we
napkins
want
and
things that do not need forks.
Right. That's why we
Finger
call it hors
foods.
d'oeuvres
Yeah.
instead of appetizers.
Yeah, past-
No forks.
past hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah. And you're
Fast
about,
or
you're about to meet half of town right there.
Yep.
They're a cast of characters.
They're all good people, that for that one.
Any other questions? That was my biggest concern about the fundraiser right now. Any other questions about
We've
fundraiser?
got the two names, we've decided on that now,
And we've got the bartenders figured out, so.
bartenders.
So are you still wanting me to continue to try and recruit servers?
Yeah, if you can find them, that'd be great. I would have
The only person that said 100% yes is Sonia.
God bless Sonia. She's
Uh,
always ready.
Dandy said yes, but he's worried about how he should dress and stuff. It's okay, I got it smoothed out, so I think we can for sure have two. I like that we can have one guy at least,
Lovely.
or, well, non-binary. So I am still working on, I'm hoping I can get Ariel and maybe Caitlin.
They've both done it before for us.
Yeah.
They've been really nice because we used to sponsor Showcase the Tall.
Well, and I mean, they've got the outfits and they're besties with Sonia, so I'm sure that I can get the,
They're a great, they're
Sure
a
they
great
have
team.
fun doing that.
yeah.
Yeah, if we can get food sort of nailed down and put on the agenda next time, we'll feel pretty good about it. We have the music, have the food, have the bar, we just need people. So, yeah, exactly.
Are we getting the, is it on here? No, it's never mind, it's the event.
Then, I know Sharon has to leave in 15 minutes, which always makes me nervous.
Let's run down real fast.
We do
Just
have-
start talking really fast.
No, to next is gallery.
I walked around and delivered the letter. It did look nicer than it looks in this bag now, but there's a letter to all of the gallerists about getting involved. I have yet to get a single response except from Pantera.
Sorry I wasn't there.
That's okay. Pantera, Maryland said they're absolutely doing something, they just haven't decided what yet.
When's the deadline?
Well, you know, deadline for submission of this information is August 19th. You email us,
It is really kind of, we had that experience too, Amy, trying to walk around and generate enthusiasm from the galleries about this.
I
It
think
seems like it's just,
they didn't seem negative about it, did they?
they weren't
No,
negative, they just weren't engaged or didn't get it, or just didn't
maybe.
realize.
I think a lot of them felt kind of
Yeah.
on their own for a long time.
Right.
I know they don't have any, you know, one of those galleries is under the central school, which is 10. And so I can get on that one. That's only because it's sort of going through a transition right now.
I think we have a couple of
32.
galleries that are that way, so.
No, but I mean, since the place just moved, the wiggle room, who knows?
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know,
it's not like we have a whole lot of options. There is that, yeah, but people were happy to talk to me and very excited about the event, so that's
Oh,
the
good.
good news.
we've been getting very good feedback.
Yeah, just
People have
haven't
actually been
really
even
saying what
thanking
they're
us. Shocking.
Yeah,
So we do have something that I'm like, I want to make sure Sharon's.
Yeah, I'm gonna get through it right now. Discussion, volunteers. I have like 10. Please send people to me. I'll make a push for that. It's like not the biggest thing on my priority list right now. It will become.
Mhm.
I just got another one today, Dave Madden asked.
He signed up.
Okay, good.
I already talked about vendors. Can't handle talking about it more. Unless anybody, please,
No,
please
yeah,
stop
of
me.
course.
No.
So, discussion and possible action regarding to pay Arizona Party rental in the amount of $6,747.89 for the rental of equipment needed for the Festival of the Arts event. I will say that Angela has had the Arizona Water Company donate water.
hey, yay.
So we do not
Yeah.
have to worry
Good,
about.
really?
Yeah,
Weighing the
Thank you
tents
so
down,
much.
yeah.
But I have to
Good
tell
job.
you,
What do we owe them?
we owe them one thing. That is to put a banner up somewhere at the festival talking about water conservation. They will
Well,
supply the
that's
banner.
not a problem at
They'll
all.
yeah.
supply the banner?
I'll wear it.
Oh my gosh, we should have that on our t-shirt.
And I had
I
them
love that.
send me a PDF of their logo so that I could thank them once it's official that we're accepting this
That's
gift.
great.
So they're giving us, it's 3,570 gallons of water
Oh my gosh.
to fill all the, because we have 64 55-gallon barrels that need to be filled.
Wow.
And they are going to donate that water, and they're also going to get it set up so that we can take it straight from the fire hydrant and have like full water capacity.
That's
Nice.
That's so great.
That was great.
So are you ready for that motion?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
I'll move to approve paying Arizona Party rental in the amount of $6,747.89 for the rental equipment needed for the Festival of the Arts event.
Do I have
I second.
all eyes? Aye.
That extra comma.
I know, the comment was wrong.
Six minutes.
No,
Wait a minute.
I'm going to,
You did really well.
move these two, I'm gonna move around a little bit because it's within the same agenda item. I'm gonna go ahead to discussion and possible approval to pay Erie
Yeah.
Movement Studio in the amount of $1,200 for performance artists for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts event and to include the independent contractor agreement for them. Do I have a motion? I know, it's really unfortunate.
I'll do them all. I'll move to approve paying
Isn't it funny spending money?
Airy Movement Studio in the amount of $1,200 for the performance artists for the Bisbee Festival of the Arts event, and to include the independent contractor agreement for them.
Do I have a second? All ayes?
Aye.
Any nays? Hey, we're just spending money like crazy
It's
over
not
here.
great.
I know, this is like the most fun when you get to do this. Discussion and possible approval to hold a second meeting in the month of August. This is because some of our meetings are special meetings, it's very confusing. But she wanted to give you some options. Monday, August 22nd, or Wednesday, August 24th. This is because we're only having one meeting this month, and we kind of need to have two next month.
Oh, yeah.
August what?
Monday
Monday
would
or
probably
Wednesday.
be better for Angela to
Monday's definitely better.
let's pick the Monday. And
So the first?
No, this is the second meeting, so August 22nd.
Okay.
is that for the Q&A?
No, the Q and A is actually unscripted at the moment. I'll talk about to the city about that. It was something that I felt was necessary, but I actually have not voted to have a Q and A with these people. I can move it to next month if I really need to. It's just to tell them how to get insurance.
And are you wanting to hold it?
No, I was just gonna create my own Zoom meeting and it's just like a couple people who don't know how to get
That should be
insurance.
fine. I mean, you should be able just to do that.
I think it's okay. I mean, if anybody wants to attend, just if more than two
If there's
of
gonna
you-
be a quorum,
Right.
I just need to know. And all I can do is just notice it as a quorum.
Yeah, it's not
It's not a big deal.
particularly exciting, but it is necessary evil. Do I have a motion to hold a second meeting on Monday, August 22nd, 2022?
I will make that. I move to approve a second meeting in August, August 22nd, Monday,
I think you moved all it. Do I have a second?
2022.
I'll second.
All ayes.
Aye.
Any nays? Thank you guys. I just wanted to do that on the record. When it comes to discussion, going back to Central School event, just as an update, Central School, I think we talked about this last time a little bit, but they have decided to hold an open call event during our event, called
Or is it not? Maybe it changed.
something of Bisbee.
It was gonna be portraits, but maybe. it
Portraits of
changed.
Bisbee. As an opportunity for all Bisbee artists to have a second venue to show their work. They also will be open all day Saturday, so we can direct people there on Sunday, but they're actually gonna have their opening Saturday night after our art festival is closed for the day. As of something so we can shift people to. I think we already talked about that, didn't we?
Are we gonna do the music video?
Yeah, and they're totally open to that too. Honestly, it's not even something we have to vote on, because now it's just.
It's there, it's there.
It's not anything for us to worry about.
Just that it's an
It's
event that's happening.
No, it's just like another
Would
thing
love
to
for everybody
advertise.
to give us an
Very good.
event, that'd be nice.
No, any questions about Central School? Discussion, bus schedule. Where would you like the bus to stop? Because this is what so I wrote a right-of-way permit, which was like a page long, and I thought about every detail, I thought. And then I was like, oh, Nina told me I had to write a bus schedule, and I wrote a bus schedule, and then I woke up like 3 days later in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh my god, my bus schedule makes no sense. I know, which I talked to Ashley about, because I was like, well, the bus.
Another sleepless night.
Over a bus schedule.
And I made it like psychotically long where I listed the same times for every hour on the hour. No, it was just
It's in the
like,
book of knowledge.
yeah, it's actually not in the book of knowledge because I'm too ashamed of it. And so I requested, because they want to talk, they want to send it to the right people.
Right.
You know, to tell me where you guys, well, I'll tell you what the bus schedule was that didn't make any sense. On the hour, it stops at Old Bisbee. Then it goes,
Where?
with the bus stop right
The regular.
downtown, the regular bus stop. Then it goes to the pit, maybe pending on.
We don't even know.
Who knows? That's not pending. Then it goes to Lowell. These are like 5-minute increments. Then it goes to the Lowell parking lot, which once again, people can't walk over because they will die.
Right.
So, but then this is where it stopped. And for some reason, I had made a 30 minutes wait until it started all over again back at the beginning.
Does
Which,
it
like,
go to
so-
Greenway? Sorry, where all that parking is gonna be?
Lowell.
Lowell is where
Oh,
the parking
Lowell, that's right.
But really, I should have made it so that it just went
is.
backwards.
Straight up. But then it's gonna be going all day long.
Back and forth.
So why don't we, do we want Central School to be a stop on the bus stop? Do we want the Gulch to be a stop and then the downtown, the 3 stops in Old Bisbee, or no?
Think
I don't
about
think so.
this, we would
I
like,
think
it would be
too
in the
much,
best
yeah.
interest to stop at places that are already bus stops. So there is a bus stop at the YMCA, which is across the street from
Central School.
Central School.
Yeah.
There's no stop in the Gulch
No.
already. I mean, the Old Bisbee's hard because you're like, it's not that big, like once you're
Right.
there.
You just, yeah.
It's a necessary thing because you need to get from Old Bisbee, but it is very funny to write a bus schedule that's literally this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can go with that, I just have to amend this bus schedule I already wrote so that it makes more sense when it comes back. Because otherwise I was circling,
Yeah.
and I need to go like this. Does that make
Right,
sense?
yes, yes. I mean, there is a circle. How do they get out of Lowell?
I
They
know,
go
but
around and they go.
Why would you go to Lowell School and then not go back to the art festival? Instead, you're gonna go to Old Bisbee, when theoretically, if you're at Lowell parking lot, you're in Lowell parking lot because you wanna go to the art festival, but I'm sorry, you're gonna have to
You have
take
to go to
45
Bisbee.
minutes.
Just keep looping back.
And that is why I was like, what the hell did I just do?
So they have to hit every stop on their way up and.
But where
on their
will
way
they
down.
stop at the?
Yeah, that's the way it should be written.
Yeah.
That is not the way I wrote it.
Oh.
But Karen, this is a really good point, like, where will the bus go from Lowell to get them to Lowell, to Lowell School to get
Where will
them
they
to the
drop them at
festival?
At the bus stop in front of City Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, so but
They
are they
already,
gonna
they
go,
already stopped
Yeah,
there
yeah.
too, that's a
they're
normal
gonna
stop.
go around the circle and come back up and?
Yeah,
Go in
they're not gonna be able to go down the street, so they're
Right,
gonna have
right.
to go.
So they have to go,
It's 2 minutes, it'll be, right?
it's not even,
yeah.
but I
Yeah,
mean,
2 minutes.
it's because, like I said, they don't want people walking from Lowell.
I mean,
Why
I
School.
can't-
why can't we get a pedestrian bridge built in time?
I know.
Why can't
We'll let you call Public Works and ask them.
Yeah.
So I mean, really what I need to do is just rewrite it so it goes like this,
It
right?
just goes
Instead of
back
like
and
this.
forth.
And just stops, and then stops.
So really, that's just Old Bisbee and Lowell.
Old Bisbee, Lowell School.
And
Or
the
pit.
pit, maybe.
Or you could do, if you wanted, we could do
Good things.
YMCA,
Just
YW,
not-
YMCA, Old Bisbee, Pitt, maybe, Lowell School. You could add an extra one if you really felt like people didn't want to walk up the hill to Central School. I mean, theoretically, they could just stop at Central
They
School.
can't
don't-
park at Central School though, so why would we?
There's parking.
But they're not allowed.
Well, the idea is that if they want to go see the other
Then they're
thing,
allowed.
yeah. No, they're not allowed to park there, but they're allowed to, well,
Just drop off their bus. They're parked at
well,
Lowell, but they
private
wanna go
parking.
to Central.
hopefully they're parked at Lowell. Or maybe they're so lazy that they're parked in Old Bisbee, but they don't want to actually walk to Central School.
Right, they should just.
If they're parked at
These are
Lowell,
things I think.
This is why I see why you stay
Yeah.
awake at night.
why aren't they stopping maybe at the pit? Is that still out?
Because we haven't gotten
I
an
don't
answer
know.
from
Freeport.
Freeport. And we need an
I got
answer
a pin
by a certain, like, when, can I give him a deadline of like?
I need to know by the next meeting so we can vote on
We
it.
need to know
Because I need to
because
have a-
the map and such.
So that's where it's like, oh, I
Okay.
need this, but I need that, but I need this before that.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have 2 versions of the bus schedule, one with that and one without it.
Wait, that what?
With
One
the
without
pit and one without it.
I mean, if we don't, yeah, and if we don't hear from him, we don't need the pit. We have
Right.
Lowell School.
Do we need the pit? Is
Not really. I mean, it
Can
would,
I skip the pit? Now, here's the reason I'm asking, because I think I just wonder if that's really worth it, like you're saying. I mean, do we need that?
well, once we got Lowell School, I was less worried because we
What do
have,
you guys think?
yeah.
What,
It's hard
I don't
to
know who's our liaison
It's
to
hard
the
to
Lowell
know.
School parking lot.
well, it's Lowell, it's the school district.
Kinda got a hold of somebody.
It'd probably either be the district office
It's
or,
the district.
Not the
office.
principal, but.
Yeah.
No, there's someone
district
that works
office.
in this,
so.
the secretary.
Yeah, so this is, you see where I'm
Mhm.
like,
And I'm always nervous about that parking lot.
Yeah, it's
because
just
it's
people
so
pulling in and out
dangerous
of, yeah,
to come out of.
yeah.
It,
well, they can always park, I mean, apparently it's even more dangerous to walk out of.
I'm even thinking of the bus, like, it's just a bad place to pull in and out of.
I know.
And it sounds crazy, it sounds like overly cautious, but it's such a bad, the pavement.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
terrible
it's
with
so
all those
bad.
pits and.
I just wonder if we can skip it.
The little school one?
No, the pit.
The pit.
Oh, the pit,
I'm talking
oh,
about the
okay.
pit, yeah.
No, the pit is pretty bad, and that's it. Pulling out of the pit with people going like 50 miles an hour, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with skipping the pit if you guys are okay with skipping
Well,
it.
I'll ask him to come back to us one way or the other, because the question is open. If he comes back to us in September, I'm gonna be like, sorry.
Yeah,
But, you know, I asked,
yeah, you
I
asked
should,
them.
I'll ask him.
Give it the opportunity
Sure.
for an answer, and
Yes.
then we can decide.
I will bring you, so I'll bring a finished, once you know that, we'll
Yeah.
bring a finished bus schedule to the next meeting. And then you can tell me, oh my God.
That'd be a great thing to talk about.
Yes.
It's really-
It is kind of
It's really
cool.
fun.
It's like something that who do you know has ever written a bus schedule?
I know.
I mean, probably Ashley.
No, I don't ride the bus schedule.
I was like, I've hit my wall of things that I don't know anything about.
That I'm gonna do something.
Maybe the bus driver would help you if you could just call one of those bus drivers.
Oh, that's true, maybe the bus driver.
They're all hired through Douglas. They do our,
But
they
would
manage
know
our
your
bus
times
systems and, yeah.
Oh yeah, the times, like, I was just like,
I think what you're wondering is is the bus driver just gonna keep going back and forth, or don't they just stop somewhere? Because an hour, on the hour, you know, that run will be completed in like 5 or
Is it just
10 or-
continuous service?
When it's like
Because
people
so you
loading
could
onto
just
the bus
say-
do
takes
you
a
want,
few
do you
minutes.
guys,
and-
what do you guys think? Do you think it should go once an hour? My thing was twice an hour.
Yeah, every half hour.
Then it is gonna be pretty much
And
run.
then we have to decide where that stop is gonna be, where they just,
Where
and I
they
think
pause.
probably Old Bisbee is probably, or the art
Or
festival.
the little parking lot.
I know.
To me, it seems like the art festival would be the natural place for it to pause.
That seems like it makes sense to me.
Yeah. That's
And then
where we
people,
want
yeah,
people
people,
to
yeah, and
congregate.
and then people can load back onto it, or, you know. but,
So
yeah.
will there be a place, I mean, if there's a place that's designated that bus to be able to stay?
Yeah. The only thing that we're gonna have to do, which is like not that bad when you think about there's literally 3 stops now.
Right,
We did post it on there that says what the stops are.
that's right.
But I mean, 3 stops, that makes me feel pretty good.
I think we should, yeah.
Well, it's 3:30.
Yeah, you're ready to go. I think-
Yes. I'll tell you really fast, on the cigar, that last month we sold 80 pieces. 80.
Yeah, nice talking money.
Well, then we will, thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
We'll go to item
That's
4,
my favorite
discussion. Any additional items related to the art festival?
Yeah, there are, I was looking at the contract that we have here for Aerie,
Mhm.
and it has me as the contractor, and it needs to be Sarah. So I don't know if I need to actually come over and give you.
Who wrote the
name.
contract, City of Bisbee?
Yeah,
Will you call Nina in the morning and tell her?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine. It's a quick change.
Yeah.
okay.
Then this will be on the next agenda?
Mhm.
Okay. I will not go to, last time I went to council, Sharon and I were like, nobody asked us any questions, so unless you hear something, will you
Yeah,
let us?
I will let you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 19th is our next meeting.
Should we put anything about the musicians' contracts on an agenda? Or
Yeah, I'm gonna, all I
I-
have to do is hand it over to Nina, and
Yeah.
she's gonna come back with the finished contracts
Okay.
next time. And then it will be, probably up to us to have them signed.
All right, so we don't really need an agenda.
No, we can
I
totally. get
have it
that.
on here just in case you guys want to add it. I have it for the next
Okay.
time.
And what do I need to do, Arizona Party Rental, they said 50% is usually what they take prior to the event.
We'll take care of the check request for
Okay,
that.
thank you.
I know, Ashley and I are amazing when it comes to. The one thing, we didn't vote on we already voted on the Arizona Rangers, I guess that one was already going to
That's
council,
done.
That's
right?
going to council on the 19th.
So we only ended up using them for one
And they
night.
sent the invoice to Ashley.
Yeah.
Not
I
to
got-
Ashley.
It'll all be
Nina.
approved on the 19th and then they'll get paid after the event, so.
And Ashley, when, I was gonna email Arizona Party Rental,
Mhm.
let them know when to expect.
Let's see. Did they have? So it'll be approved at the next meeting as well, so the check won't be ready until the next day. Usually the 20th or 21st it'll be ready.
Okay.
And we can just mail that out to them,
Okay, so,
if that's okay.
yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to give her an idea so that she knew it was official now.
No
Sorry,
problem.
guys.
No, we did it, we almost did it all.
Yep.
I will
Thank you.
totally open this time up to anything else that anybody
Bye, Sharon.
wants to talk about related to the arts festival.
Are those, you know how I'm gonna do a table? Is that stuff gonna arrive?
When do you want, I just haven't ordered it, that's totally on me.
Well, I would love to be able to,
I have to order the, tents.
just whenever. I'd love to be able to get a hold of it just to make sure I get it prepared and
We voted
some
on
samples.
we voted on the amount, and so it's just open. I just have to go to the city will no longer give me the credit card number and just let me have it, which was great. When my Amazon was just linked to the city account. So I just have to go and do it while they're there.
Okay.
And so that's why, unless, I mean,
Or send us a link and we'll get it ordered or
I don't know
whatever
if
it
it
is.
will work because when you send the link, it doesn't necessarily have the checkout. It's weird.
But you won't send the shopping cart?
Is this on Amazon?
No, this one's
Okay.
on, it's on a,
Blick.
I think you should choose the other one.
Oh,
I have it here, it's just a matter of, it's just like the one thing that I have.
Yeah, just get us the info and
Okay.
we'll get it ordered.
So if they order it, and then this week, we'll have it.
okay.
Okay. And then you can tell us if you want any more stuff. And also if you want a banner.
A banner?
Well, everybody's getting a banner, she should have a banner too.
I don't need a banner.
You don't want a banner?
I don't need no sticky
Big banner?
Well, if kids art or something.
You should have a banner.
People will walk by and they'll just be like, oh, do that. Maybe it'll be on the map.
Theoretically, it'll be on the map.
It'd be good.
So do we need to, I'm trying to figure out what the next step is with Arizona Water. Do we need to have some kind of agreement or? Because right now I just have.
I think I would request an agreement from them,
Okay.
like, just so that it's solidified.
Yeah,
I mean,
because all I have right now is just an email saying, yeah, we'll take care of that for you.
I don't think they're gonna back out, but it'd be nice to have it in writing.
Richard and Frank.
I know, this is like, it's amazing how many people you meet from all kinds of, you just meet all kinds of people, it's great.
I'm trying to be better about writing the names down. Because the last time I went to Public Works, it was like, the tall, cute one.
No, and I don't know if you guys remember this, I created a Google Doc for all contacts at one point.
Okay.
It's up there if anybody wants to use it, because I have the same problem where I'm like, oh my god, I have to call. Because it has like a place for the contacts for, people we haven't talked to in a while, like
Yeah.
the porta potty people.
Yeah.
Tall, cute one.
Listed on my Google
We
Doc.
know that we paid them, but at some point we're gonna have to call them. so-
Yeah.
I'll do that when it's getting closer. And the t-shirts, are they gonna have, are they gonna have like the logos printed on with the water people, or what's
Well, we
the
don't have
t-shirt?
we don't have an agreement with a lot of people to put them on a t-shirt. It's up to all of us, whatever, we could just do the logo for the art festival, or we could ask the graphic designer to do something else that was related, what do you think?
Seems like we should use the logo.
Our logo or the festival logo?
Or just Bisbee Festival
I
of
mean,
Arts
yeah,
for
that's
the year or something, or we
I don't
could
know,
have-
people really have liked our posters, so
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like we
something
should
in
do
that.
something that relates
Something
to,
cute.
Some of that graphic.
yeah,
Or you could have the whole poster on there.
yeah, I mean, I feel like people, they might be confused by the poster, but they like how it looks.
Yeah, they like how.
Some of the graphics from that poster would be fun with just the Festival of the Arts and the year.
So would you like me to ask the graphic designer to design something a little simpler for the art festival with
For the
the
t-shirt.
t-shirts?
Yeah, but it'd be,
And then I can bring it, she's like,
we'd all want one.
I'll bring it to you, the next meeting. She's
Okay.
super fast. And I will show you the table tents too. I'm sorry I forgot to send it out. It was just, I just got it today. Yeah, that'd be great. Anything else? Does anybody want to do something on item 5, update discussion regarding the following? SIG Art Machine, Sharon yelled her answer while she was looking. Social media,
I did make thank you, Karen. I forgot, I do have something to tell you guys. So I just recently, it doesn't cost anything to do like entry level, turn your account into a professional account. It just is a little bit of work, and so I got that work done. So now at least we can look and see, like, when people are checking out our site, which posts get the most visits, that kind of stuff.
it's
And-
always nice to see.
yeah, and I didn't get to that until like about a week and a half ago. But from here on out, now we'll have that history that we can revisit. And as far as continuing posting, I haven't been on top of it as much as I usually would. Like, I've got a system like where I cycle through topics and artists and stuff.
It looks like it works really well.
And I've kind of fallen off that system, so if you can't tell,
No, we can't tell.
okay, okay.
It's one of those things where you don't even notice, like, the people viewing don't notice, but you know.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible, and when I hear about something new, then I try to bring that up, and then if there's a local artist that hasn't shown for a while, then I try to bring that up, but kind of the thing is the same thing I've brought up in the past, is those that help themselves and those that promote themselves are the ones that I'm continuing to promote, because in the first 6 months of doing this, I decided I'm done begging people to let me promote them. So, just FYI, like, I'm trying not to constantly promote the same people, but certain people are really good about promoting themselves and putting stuff out there, so that gives me content.
It always feels like there's like 5 people who do things all the time, where you're like,
Yeah.
and I know that, yeah, with the burlesque shows and stuff, they're doing it every month, so it's just.
I actually didn't end up highlighting those until recently, because I felt like it was too self-serving, and then somebody's like, wait a second, you can't then cross out everything you're involved with.
In a town this small, there is no way to avoid a conflict of interest, and the only way I think you can balance it out is by trying to show other people at the same time.
Yeah. So, if you guys really want something promoted, you see something that should be on our thing, please just let me know, because I appreciate any input at all. It's hard to come up with, I've been doing it for, what is it, like 14 months now, and I have consistently done 3 to 4 posts a week, so.
That is awesome. It's a lot of work.
The content, it gets harder the longer I do it too, to keep coming up with new stuff.
Well, it makes me feel better. I wrote a column for the paper about the art scene here for 2 years. I didn't run out of things, but I was kind of like, I kind of said everything I want to say for now.
Yeah.
I could have totally done it again a few years later, but
you
for a
needed a
while I
breather.
felt like it was,
Yeah.
and now I know more artists, but it just, it's a tiny town. We are so fortunate that we have so much to do considering how small it is. I've heard very nice things about the video. I thought it was great. I just wanted to tell you, people have really complimented her and your work.
Does anybody know how I can, link?
That was my problem, that's my problem, I wanted to say, is those videos take so much work. You can't tell, but
Oh, yeah.
it's so impossible to find them.
Yes.
They're not on our website.
There's an app. I know the website doesn't
If you
support.
look for YouTube for us, it just shows these meetings. I mean, it's almost impossible.
We can put it on the Bisbee Arts Commission Facebook page.
Maybe
Let's do that. I noticed some people were sharing it on Facebook already.
Yeah,
And
but
then-
I just
I
thought,
feel
I
like
don't
it
want to
should
do
be
this
on
work if they're
Yeah.
getting like 7 views.
No.
I just,
Well,
you
this is
know.
what the other thing we can do. It is complicated. I've done it. I can remember how to do it. To take a video and take part of it and put it on Instagram.
That's what I wanted to do, but I don't know how to do it.
It is kind of weirdly, like, for of all the things, it's like there's a weird thing you have to do. You have to have an app that does just that. Let me think about it, see how we can do that.
Just record a little bit of it on your phone, and then put that up.
Not quite the same quality. But they're like,
That's how I do it.
they make it intentionally hard to share from
Yeah.
one thing to another.
Yeah,
It's
because
Apple.
it's a different
And
platform.
then it's,
and-
oh, it takes me for, I
Yeah.
have the hardest time just putting it in my Dropbox so that I can send it. It takes like 20 minutes.
It is,
to
and
it is
download.
really difficult. It's not you. It's just a,
Well,
The
and
whole
I
thing.
feel bad that, I would agree with you that you're saying I'm putting in so much work, but it's not getting out to the public.
Yeah, so I just,
And
like,
so-
I don't wanna do it anymore.
Let's do
But
this.
Amy,
That's
remember,
a lot.
that was something that you wanted to do.
I did.
And it's been great.
And
Well,
so
and
it's
by
okay,
the
it's
same
not a
token, if
failure
you
to say
feel
I'm
like-
done.
Well, what I wanted to do was say that we can show some local artists, but it's sort of more just a thing for them, not us.
we can change that very easily.
Yeah.
I can put them all on the Bisbee Arts Commission page on Facebook. That's an
I
easy
think
way.
that
It's
will
a link to YouTube. I just haven't, I've been using it just for the festival, but we could totally do that. It will be a link to you click it and it goes to the YouTube where it is.
And at least on Facebook,
there-
it does give a little still.
And there is an app that can take that actual video off of YouTube process it, let you cut parts out and put it on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, because I use it for music videos.
Look at me, I'm like,
No, you know,
No, forget it, because what part would you even take?
Right.
I don't, well, you just give you just show a little tiny bit and then
because
say,
people
go
will
to
see like the
YouTube.
first few
And these
30 seconds and then it's a teaser and then they go,
Mhm.
you know.
There's a way to do it.
Let's
I would
see,
be
maybe if
more
we can get that
motivated
done,
to
then
do
you
more.
could
Yeah.
just see if it'll boost the viewing and then
It will
you'll know
totally,
whether you wanna continue.
it will totally boost the viewing.
Plus it, like, I think we are all completely accepting of like, if you wanted to take a break until those got some more views.
Well, they take
That's
a
what I'm
while to
saying.
make.
Well,
Yeah.
let's try this thing and see if we can get a little bit more uptick.
Yeah.
It will totally build it. The thing is, the people about YouTube is like, there's like a billion videos, and so often I've done it too, where I put a music video up there and been like, oh, I'm just lost in the mass of
Mhm.
so many things.
Mhm.
You know, if you try to find my senior project from college, it'll take you years. It's on there somewhere, I don't know where it is. So I understand that so well, but we can change that easily.
Plus, just take a breather, we've got the festival, you've got more than enough to do.
And
That's not even what's taken all my energy lately.
Well, you're starting school soon too.
Yep, start school soon.
Well, with the window tribute, we amended it to try and make it more clear.
I noticed, we were walking by and then I said, hey, look, there's, and my husband said, I have to go to the bathroom, we need to just keep going. So I didn't get to look more than, let's walk by
It
real
definitely,
fast.
I think it made it a little more, Sharon and
I noticed the posters on the,
we just like stared at it for a while, trying to figure out.
What would make it clear?
Yeah, all those things seem good. Future agenda items, I think we got
I've
them.
got a list going, yep.
Any future agenda items anybody wants to put on there?
I see this future agenda items, the vote on performing arts, I
No,
think
that's
that's all we're
the,
taking
that's
care of.
the, old minute.
Okay.
I just did the same thing, so I was like, what is that?
I'm like, what? Didn't we take care of this?
Those are your minutes.
I'm like, are we making progress?
okay,
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You feel good about the food thing?
yeah,
You'll
we'll
need-
work on that.
Yeah, you'll need some interesting, all those very nice people. Rod at Roco is really nice.
I moved that we
Oh
adjourn.
my God.
I'll
I second it.
All eyes.
Aye.
Thank you guys so much for your patience.
We have to do the